Alexa TV presents in 3, 2, 1. Dateline Schools with your host, Terry Harrington.
All this week on Dateline Schools at Marysville High School that hosted the 21st Century Learning Symposium. And this week on Dateline Schools, had the privilege of talking with one of the keynote speakers from the event from Alberta, Canada, George Couros. And George, one of the things in your message, you addressed it yesterday with innovation, but you also added creativity and voice. Explain those pieces too.
Well, I think that that's where kids have the time to actually do stuff. You think back to many of us, our experiences in school was to actually, write notes off the board and then reread them. And we saw that as that was a good learning opportunity. And if your notes weren't neat, you weren't going to learn anything. But whether your notes were neat or not, we didn't really learn that much in that. We learned how to memorize stuff and go through it, but not really think. And I think there's a great quote that I shared this morning about this notion that learning is creation, not consumption. It's not saying content is not important. Content is actually very important in this, but it is actually what you do with content and what comes out of it. And I think things like students creating blogs, videos, doing different things, and actually really putting their learning together is what we're trying to inspire. And it can be things like the maker movement, even something with digital literacies that is also important. And then the other idea that we talked about was voice. And I think that in this world where basically everyone can have a voice, it is simple to start a blog or a Twitter account, or Instagram. How are we getting kids to utilize it in a way that makes a difference in the lives of others? We talk about in schools the idea of like digital citizenship and cyberbullying, and we talk about basically all the things kids can't do or they shouldn't do. And I don't think that's a really inspiring message, and it doesn't really produce anything from kids. And what we're trying to get them to do is to realize that they basically have the world at their fingertips now. And what are they going to do with this? How are they going to actually change the lives of people in their community, people around the world, and make an impact by using that voice? And so we're trying to really inspire change, not only with our teachers sharing their voice, but also with our kids.
Our conversation will continue tomorrow. For Dateline Schools, I'm Terry Harrington.